Pronounce my name right. So instead of saying Moses Ssebandeke, I get stuff like Ssebandeke, Ssebandeke, or my own personal favourite, Ssebandeke, which makes me sound like the Queen's personal gay yoga teacher. It's a bit awkward, but I'll go and I want to tell a little story. Thank you for coming down to Isaac tonight. He told me a story about a couple of weeks ago. He was up in Newcastle. We just finished doing a show, and he was waiting at the bus stop. And then a group of likely lads came up to him, menacing, white people and whatnot. Came up to him and went, "Look, a fucking nigger!" And the way they said, "Look, a fucking nigger," was the same way the voice you have when you finally find your house keys or something. You know, it must have been like, "John, I found the nigger, it was in my back pocket all this time." I fucking know. But he was called a fucking nigger, and then he came back to me in tears. And he was like, "Moses, I was up in Newcastle, and I was called a nigger." And when I looked at him, I was like, "Well, Isaac, I was called an ape in a science museum." And then he looked at me and was like, "Well, I was called a spear chopper in Toys R Us." And I was like, "Well, I was called a tar baby in the creche." And we were trying to outdo our racial slurs, basically. By the time a couple of hours passed, we were all like, and that's why I'm not allowed in Nando's. I want to move on swiftly as well. I feel like London is a city of complaints. We always complain, and the thing that gets the brunt of most of our complaints is the tube, the London Underground. I always hear the worst things like, "Oh, the tubes are overcrowded, it's unhygienic, we're getting transported to a place we don't want to go to." But I'm like, I thought it's the universe's way of punishing Britain for slavery. Because, no, seriously, because okay, you're on a slave ship, for example, you've been there for 3 weeks straight, you're up to your neck in feces, you've had all these berries float stuck in your ass for the past 6 weeks, and the guy next to you still tries to beat the metro. It's like, "I'm trying to read my horoscope." No, you're on a slave ship. It's just weird. But anyway, I recently went, at the beginning of the year, I went to Amsterdam on a lad's holiday. And yeah, whenever you say Amsterdam, you get the weirdest, the most disgusting things. For example, we were staying in a hostel, which was a couple of floors up from a brothel. And every morning when we wanted to get some fresh air, instead we would get the sweet aroma of despair and wet wipes here in our face. And then we decided to get something called magic truffles, magic mushrooms, which is like an hallucinogen. So it makes you see all sorts of things. And we took it, and nothing really happened for us. We felt shortchanged. Well, it happened for my friend Janelle. He told me he saw a flying vagina. Imagine David Attenborough narrating a flying vagina. "There goes the flying vagina, distant cousin of the carnivorous cunt, as he stalks his prey, the purple penis." It's so weird. But so we decided to go out and get some drinks and weed and try to forget about the magic truffles. And I was forced into a strip club, which I'm not a fan of whatsoever. I was forced into the strip club, and then unluckily a lap dance started happening to me, and then that's when the magic truffles started to kick in. So when I was getting the lap dance, I looked up the body. It was a normal body, but by the time I got to the head morphed into the head of Trevor McDonald. Staring to myself, well, Sir Trevor McDonald. He's got the body of a prostitute, but he's still a knight, you can't forget that. And, well, the awkward thing is, I kind of enjoyed it. Don't judge me, I like the news! That's deeper now, thank you guys.